Everyone, sorry for the little delay. Um, all right, we are here to talk about a topic that has become very relevant with the approaching holidays, um, especially with the more social gatherings and the more temptations to eat and drink and indulge in all kind of food and drinks. First of all, my name is Stanislava Stajkova. I'm a naturopath and fertility coach, and I work with couples from all over the world that have fertility issues. I coach them and I educate them and I take their hand and walk the infertility journey that I feel so I solidarize with them because I come from a long journey of infertility myself that ended with a happy end, ended successfully with my second boy. So, today we are talking about how to survive the holidays. That can be a particularly challenging time for couples that deal with infertility, just because this is the time when we get together with family members, with friends more frequently, and we are tempted to eat more, drink more alcohol, and all kind of beverages. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about that. The first thing that you can do and that I want you to do during this holiday season, when you are tempted to drink or eat more or indulge in foods that are not necessarily so good for fertility, is to do it from a place where you enjoy that food or that drink. If you are going to be tempted and if you are going to cheat on your fertility diet, please at least enjoy every single bite, every single sip of it, because when you come from a place where you are going to beat yourself up or feel guilty the next day, then just don't do it. If we say or drink or eat from a place where we come with joy, it, it is so much easier on us, and it does not produce the negative effect that it would produce if you would be regretting it after that. And the other tip, if you are indulging in those foods and drinks and alcohol, especially we tend to drink more around the holidays, is catch up on your green vegetables. Make sure that the rest of the time that you are not in a social gathering where you cannot prepare your own food and you cannot have that much choice, you catch up on your green leafy vegetables, not only because they are very nutritious, but because they help you detox. Another tip would be when you're going to a family gathering or a social gathering, where you know that there is not going to be your typical fertility food regimen. Make sure you don't go hungry ever. Make sure that you eat ahead of time. Don't go hungry, because then we are really tempted to try this and to try that. Another thing that is very, very difficult to deal with during the holidays is the emotional part of meeting family and relatives, friends that are in one way or another going to remind us that we are on our infertility journey. And just because you're meeting with couples with kids, or because a relative asks you a question about when is that baby coming. So usually what I used to do in the past, when I was in those shoes, and I knew I was going to meet a family member that is going to trigger me, I would try to imagine a few things that I like about that person before the meeting, a few things that I would admire about them, and that changes the whole energy, and it changes the perception that you have of that person. Another thing, during the holidays, we really tend to think more in retrospective, and evaluate what happened to us during the past year. Did I achieve my goal? Did I not? Did I move any closer? And it is so much easier to turn on the critique towards ourselves, and beating ourselves up for not doing this, or for indulging in something, or for not doing better, not implementing better, not being more disciplined. I want you, as you approach the holidays, to try to look at these from the point where a more positive point of view, instead of saying, I could have done better in this, I could have exercised more, I could have slept better. Try to see what you achieved. Try to see how you did even tiny baby steps towards your goal, how you improved in a certain aspect, how you got better support, how you turned into the right direction, and made even if it be baby steps towards your goal, but towards the right direction, and see and see the past retrospective from this positive standpoint, rather than criticizing yourself. Another tip, especially when it comes to indulging more in alcohol, because it's usually typical around the holidays. I like very much what Abraham Hicks said about drinking alcohol. If you are going to drink from a point in life, a point where you're high on life, to get higher. Don't drink from a place where you are drinking because you're depressed or stressed or anxious. Don't drink because you are fed up with your work, or friends or relatives, and you're stressed. If that is the case, you should totally stay away from drinking, but drink from a place where you are happy, you're enjoying life, you are enjoying this particular food, or this particular cheese, if you will, if we are going to be indulging and cheating on our fertility diet, from a place where you're happy and you just want to feel even better. So that's last tip. And now I want to spend some time answering questions, and mostly one question that I get so frequently asked about, that I decided I'm going to do a live about this and talk more about the program, the Natural Conception Awareness program that I offer. As a naturopath, and in general, naturopathy is an alternative medicine that does not look for a diagnosis, does not treat symptoms, does not use medications and pharmaceuticals, but it rather believes in the innate possibility of our body to heal itself, and it treats with recommending a proper diet and changing the lifestyle habits on a very customized level. So it is a very, very holistic approach and a very customized one according to the particular client's needs. But if I have to summarize the major aspects of what my program is, number one, it works on detox, major stress on cleansing, detoxing our body and our environment, so from inside and outside. When I say our environment, that's our household, the home we live in, that's our workplace, that's the air that we breathe, that's the water that we drink. We should be breathing clean air, we should be drinking filtered water, free of pesticides, insecticides, residual pharmaceuticals, organic, volatile organic compounds, free of heavy metals. It's super important because the human body is more than 80% water, so it's really critical, the water that you drink. We work on cleaning the household from a lot of bad stuff. We go through your cosmetics, through your bathroom, through your kitchen. We replace your kitchenware if needed. We try to stay away from plastics. We try to stay away from aluminum. We try to stay away from phthalates, from perfumes. There is, because these chemicals that are strong endocrine disruptors, and there is a statistic of the American Consumer Protection Agency that says that in each household, on average, there are about 115 chemicals routinely every day that are strong endocrine disruptors. And so if we want to be in optimum reproductive health, we want to avoid those. We want an optimal hormonal balance. The second major pillar aspect that we work on in our program is diet. The fertility diet should be based on clean vegetables and protein, possibly from animal sources. Possibly the food should be organic, free of pesticides, insecticides, antibiotics, additional hormones. There are some very big enemies that should be avoided, especially these are foods that have inflammatory properties, sugar, dairy, to name a few, processed packaged foods. The third major aspect that we are working on is testing. We are reviewing tests that have been possibly done on both partners, the male and the female. I'm looking to see major sex hormones, thyroid panel, in general blood work, and of course sperm analysis for the men. A fourth important pillar of my program is the female reproductive health, and we concentrate and we teach basal body temperature charting for the woman. That's basically taking your basal body temperature every morning as soon as you wake up, and recording it into a phone application. Thank God nowadays the technology has advanced so much that you have no longer to do that on paper as I used to do it many years ago. There are great applications out there that you can download on your phone and record your basal body temperature, that at the end of your menstrual cycle is going to give us a graph, a chart that is going to be loaded with tons of information about your menstrual cycle, about your hormonal levels, whether they're optimum or they're deficient. It's going to tell us a lot about the length of your follicular and luteal phase, and it's going to tell us a lot about your thyroid function. So it's just a great tool that gives us a wealth of information about the female menstrual cycle. So I do insist on my female clients to learn to chart their basal body temperature. It's very easy with a digital thermometer under the tongue every morning upon waking up. The next important pillar, I think, is number 5 or 4, I lost track, but is the male reproductive health. We review sperm analysis, we review the male labs and recommend accordingly lifestyle changes. Next important pillar is sport habits and lifestyle changes towards exercise. It's very important to do exercise for fertility. It's very important to do the right amount of exercise, not too much, not too little. Of course, you don't want to train for a marathon, but you don't want to be a couch potato at the same time. So we work on creating sports habits if they don't exist, or on customizing them according to the particular needs. Next important pillar is sleep, relaxation habits, and circadian rhythm. Sleep is of critical importance when it comes to hormonal balance, when it comes to healing. Sleep is the time during which melatonin is produced, which is a master hormone impacting all sex hormones. Sleep is the critical time during which your body heals and restores. It's very important, the amount of sleep and the good quality sleep. And we give tips and recommendations if the sleep is not good. Working on the circadian rhythm is also very important, and that's pretty much our inner biological clock that regulates our hormone production. So there are many tips on what to do to regulate that biological clock, like waking up early in the morning and exposing your eyes on direct daylight right away, and going to bed at the proper time, and avoiding blue light and all kind of screen lights, iPads, computers, phone light after dusk, because this is really, really disrupting our sleep patterns. Next important pillar is nutritional supplementation. I am going to just break for a moment and see if there are any comments or questions coming, because I don't see on my phone if anybody is watching or if there are any comments or questions. I don't see any for now. But so talking about the nutritional supplementation, this is something that we definitely customize according to each couple's needs. I don't recommend self-prescription because for many reasons, but because first of all, they're as much as not a brand slave. I'm not a brand slave. There are brands when it comes to supplements out there on the market that are not good quality supplements, that contain a lot of crap. So it really, a good brand is a guarantee for quality supplementation. Number two is usually the people on infertility journey come from a long road of desperation, where they tend to try everything, and eventually nothing has worked, and they try one supplement, then they find out that they did not. They try another one. Most supplements are working in synergy, so they have a totally different effect combined together, versus taking one supplement and switching to another one. So it's very important to have professional guidance when you're going to be supplementing. And of course, I prefer that all nutrients come from a good balanced various with a good variety diet, rather than from supplementation. You cannot out supplement a crappy diet. The next important pillar is the emotional and spiritual health. A big branch here is decompressing stress. We are physical, nutritional, emotional, and spiritual beings, and this is a very, very important component of the program. Usually, if people do everything right, they eat right, they exercise, they have good sleeping habits, they supplement, they don't have anatomical challenges conceiving, and they are doing everything right, and nothing is happening. There is an emotional blockage that is under the underlying cause of infertility. So it is critically important. As much as the physiological part is important, the emotions are very, very important. So if you are coming from a place of fear, or a place of stress, or a place of anxiety, if that feeling predominates more than 50% of the time during the day, it's impossible to reproduce. That means that basically your body is predominantly in a fight or flight response, and it cannot reproduce. Reproduction is shut down. It's many other systems in the body are shut down. The immune system, the digestive system, the reproductive system. The only thing that works optimally is what is needed to help us deal with the stress, to either escape or to fight. So that's a very major component, the emotional and the spiritual health. And last but not least is working on mindset. Mind over matter, the mindset that you have on this fertility journey, on how you are perceiving your path up to this moment. Are you being negative about what's happening to you, or are you perceiving it as a challenge that is here to teach you something, a lesson that you gotta learn? Are you being hopeful? Do you have faith that you are going to be a parent? Or are you being skeptical? Are you coming from a place of pessimism? The mind can be everything. There is an amazing book that I strongly recommend to not only to the people struggling with infertility, with any person that has not only a health challenge, a challenge in general in life, and that's called Biology of Belief by Bruce Lipton. It's amazing, the power of our thoughts. They do materialize in our subconsciousness into energy, and they do predetermine our outcome. They can change our DNA. They can change our physiology. The power of your mind is endless. I strongly recommend this book. I'm going to check one more time if there are any questions. If not, if you're watching this video later as a replay, feel free to ask your questions in the comments. I am going to come back and respond. Have a very happy and merry Christmas and holidays, everyone. I am actually going to try to pop up here one more time around the holidays or before the holidays if I can. But make sure you eat your green vegetables and indulge in food and beverages around the holidays, from a point where you're high on life to get higher. That's all from me for today, and I can't wait to hear from you. Please comment under this video. I hope to come back here soon. Bye bye.